All right, so this is your little bonus here that I didn't have time for in the last video. If you're watching this and you haven't watched the video where I'm speaking about pierced and perfected and my word study into the words pierced and or diachomi and abar and anastasis, then you might want to go back and watch that one. In this quick little study, I'm going to talk about the word for sword. This one is fun. When Simeon says to Mary, I guess I'll read this again for reference here. Behold, this child is set for the fall and rising of many in Israel, and for a sign that is spoken against, and a sword will pierce your own soul too, that thoughts out of many hearts may be revealed. That's Luke 2:33-35. The word for sword is not the same word for sword, where, for instance, Peter pulls out his sword and cuts off Malchus's ear, where Jesus says those who live by the sword will die by the sword. That's referring to your shorter kind of sword, like more of your handheld, knife, dagger kind of thing. And that's used quite a lot throughout Scripture. This word for sword, I'm getting to my notes here, is not used very much at all. Nope. It is used only, this is cool, only in this Luke passage, and then multiple times in Revelation. Here we go. Okay, so the word is rhomphaia. That's R-H-O-M, rhomphaia. I don't know if I have the best pronunciation, but there we go. That's Strong's 4501. And it's in Revelation chapter 1, 2, 6, and 19. Most of those mentions in Revelation, it is called the sword of his mouth, referring to this Jesus messianic figure. Of course, it's very symbolic language in Revelation, but multiple times the sword of his mouth. Now, in general, the sword has symbolism throughout Scripture of judgment, of some kind of division. And when Adam and Eve are cast out of the garden, there is a cherubim with a flaming sword to separate. And then if we tie together the sword of his mouth, there is like a decree, a judgment coming from the words of the Lord, the will of the Lord, the things that are said and decreed. So that's the word that Simeon says a sword will pass over your soul to. This kind of judgment. Okay. We don't like that. That doesn't feel nice. Let's layer this just a little bit. The type of sword this is, because it was an actual sword, is the Thracian sword, which is a long sword. You can look it up on Wikipedia. It's actually pretty cool. There's also this site called, I think, the Cult of Athena, and they I guess they make a lot of different swords, but it looks like they have some really good information about time period weaponry. So pretty cool to check out if you're just interested in old time weaponry. But this particular sword is like long, and then it kind of hooks down at the end. And the inside blade is the sharp part. Found this cool video of some guy like doing some cool stock cuts with it. I guess I'll link that below so you can just get right there. So the Thracian people were known for their violence. You can look them up on Wikipedia too and read their whole history. There were some Celtic people up there, some of that influence from different people groups. But again, not a happy image here. Okay, so this, not just any like short little dagger sword, but like a big long, very sharp sword. Symbols of judgment, symbols of the decree of the Lord, going to cut my life. Like, wow. Okay, interesting. So just I'm going to add this to what I just said in the last video. So again, if you're still watching this and you haven't watched the other one, maybe go check it out. But um, this sword is going to pass over Mary's life. Think about all the times that she is cut, and cut even perhaps because of realizing who she is. Maybe, and these are questions I don't fully have answers to. How might she be experiencing judgment in these situations that we see, even here in Luke chapter 2, when she goes again to the temple? It's Passover. She can't find Jesus. He's 12 years old. Um, is she cut then? Is that the sword cutting her? Is she realizing, ooh, he's not mine? Ouch. Maybe that's my pride. In the film, I play around with this idea. How much did she feel like she was responsible for her other children? Should she have gone with Jesus in his ministry and trusted that, her other kids would, I don't know, make up their own mind? We just don't know so much about her family life. But I'm sure she had to wrestle at least with releasing Jesus and saying, you have to do your thing, and that's more important than our family. And that must have been a struggle for her. And so I can't say, because I don't know Mary. I was just guessing at what might those moments have been that pierced her, that passed over her, but it was almost like a judgment passing over her that she's experiencing. Ooh, I am not godly in this situation. Ooh, I'm not being faithful. Ooh, I am not like Jesus here, and he's calling me to something higher. I think we all go through that kind of situation, and particularly if you read Scripture, you will go through this. Like I said before, it's this is used in Revelation to describe the word of his, the sword of his mouth. So his words are the things that reveal, that judge the heart. And then, like Simeon says, it reveals the thoughts of many people. So those motivations. So maybe I imagine you're probably a Bible reader if you're watching this. If you're not, the Bible is amazing. Oh my goodness. I encourage you to read it and let it cut you. Let it pass through your life. It'll pass over every part of your life. There won't be any part that just kind of stays hidden over here in a corner. It will shed light on everything. The sword of his mouth is a beautiful thing, and it is a healing thing. I think Mary, while cut and hurt, also went through great healing and was led to maturity and completion, or the idea of perfection. So hence, pierced and perfected, the cool word for sword. I hope that sparked some thought. If you have any thoughts you want to add, feel free. Again, not a certified scholar or anything like that, but just some things I'm learning that I thought would be fun to share. So hope that's helpful. You can check out the video on my website, katiedelrocco.com. I'm still accepting donations from rentals and downloads to support the crisis in Ukraine. Those will go to Hope Worldwide. Really awesome charity organization doing some great work. So thanks everybody. Feel free to connect, and peace.